my window on a cold, cloudy day when I saw that hearse come rolling for to carry my mother away. Will the circle be unbroken by and by, Lord, by?
Hi and welcome. It's a short show today.
It's better.
Lots been going on, so I will explain briefly and
Sky, Lord.
apologize to Melissa and Susan. We'll hear from them next week, and it's just been a lot the last 24 hours. So, said my final goodbyes to my mom last night. So it's been tough. It's been a tough one. So I just wanted to talk about that for just a moment, and of course, welcome you. And that song reminds me of her. Will the circle be unbroken? And appreciate you tuning in and for all your support. It's been pretty amazing. I really appreciate the support for sure. I've been doing this a long time, and so I don't talk a lot about my parents on the show. So I just wanted to give you my thoughts today, and the importance of life, if you will, the importance of life. I'm kind of in a weird headspace today, so bear with me, if you will. Okay. One thing about doing what I do for a living, you kind of have to shake off your whatever's going on in your life to be able to go on and do a show, right? And boy, a lot's been going on in my personal life. The hard part about that is that, when I signed up for this, my family didn't. So it's been tough because I try to keep things kind of private, and I try to keep their lives private, and it's really hard to do. And because they don't want to be talked about. Everybody likes their privacy. And so I try not to talk a lot about what's going on in my personal life. And I know a lot of talk show hosts share things really super openly, but that's just not been my experience. And I share enough of my political views that I'm sure that's uncomfortable. So I'm sure that that's uncomfortable for them because, they don't always align with what I'm saying. And oftentimes they do, but they don't always. And so I try to keep them these two lives kind of separate because I feel like it's kind of owed to them, kind of difficult situation. So I don't talk a lot about like my husband, my kid, like what's going on in my life. So I'm kind of in a weird headspace today because we had to say final goodbyes to my mom last night. So that's been difficult, to say the least, because it's been a lot of mixed emotions and crazy feelings and things like that. So when people ask me how I do what I do, a lot of that came from my parents. So if you can stand for truth and not be bought, and in a world of media vipers, try to do this for a living, it can be difficult because you're up against a lot. And so there's a lot of things ways you could go with this job. And people ask all the time, how do I do what I do? And a lot of that came from my parents, my grandparents, and a good stock, being of good stock, right? And so I show this picture right now. This is on YouTube and X and Rumble. This is my family. My parents divorced when I was 14, but this is my family growing up, and this was in our backyard. And I have two siblings, a sister and a brother, and we're really, really close. And then I have my two parents. Well, my dad is 91, and my mom, I got a call yesterday, and later afternoon that we needed to head up and say goodbyes, and there was a turn for the worse. So we went up, and I grew up in a family where my mom was a guitar teacher before she was a nurse. And so we all played guitar. And it was this thing we did as a family. And in playing guitar, it kind of, it really became our family dynamic. In fact, if you knew us growing up, you'd probably immediately go, "Oh, they all played guitar," because my mom turned us into a bluegrass group. I know it sounds crazy. Hence, the song coming in was a little bluegrassy because my sister played the banjo and my brother played the fiddle, and we all played guitar. And we were forced to play the guitar because my mom was a guitar teacher, and so we all learned how to play. So we performed everywhere, and we performed at Calico Ghost Town. We performed all over the place, and my mom put us in overalls, and it was highly embarrassing. And so, but we were this little band, and we played for everything. And my mom signed us up to play for everything. So you were kind of forced into it. And when I was a kid, I always hated the mandatory guitar lessons, of course. But then as an adult, I cherished it because I was a guitar teacher before I was ever on the radio. And I loved it. I taught adults and kids and all that came from her. And so last night we gathered for a couple of hours and played guitar and sang. And it was really, really special. So that's why this is kind of hard. Also, I was raised in a family where there was a huge impact by my parents on us as far as reading and writing, because every week for years, my mom would make us write these stories, and it had to be a story about the week. We had to write something, and it had to be a whole page. Now, as a kid, that's a lot. Okay. So I was little. So we had to write a whole page. And then what she would do is circle the errors in red, and then we have to rewrite it. And in order to watch Disney at 7:00 on Sunday night, we had to write out these stories. So she actually collected those into a book and gave them to us later on in life. And it was really kind of a journal, like a forced journal, of our childhood. And the things that we wrote about were things that happened to us during that week. And it made us into, we all could write. We all had that ability. And she was very, very good at making us read the newspaper in the morning before we ate breakfast. So we had to read the front page, and we had to know what was going on in the world. And so when people ask me about why I'm in this space today, and some of those talents were cultivated by my parents growing up. And in my family, it was, you tell the truth, you do what's right, you love God, you pray, you have good values, and it matters what you do in this life, and you serve people, and you're kind, and you serve people without making a big deal about it, and those kinds of things. So the things that I learned from my parents were great things. I'll show you some photos. This is my mom and my grandma. We were incredibly close to my grandma. She was a huge presence in our life. She passed away a decade ago. And so my mom and I, things have been kind of tough the last decade. And so just to be honest, so it's been hard. So lots of mixed emotions and feelings and things that have happened through the years. And so yesterday wasn't easy. Last night wasn't easy by any means, but it was necessary, and it was good. And it was good to get some closure. And she was a very, very wonderful mother, and very talented. And she had a lot of gifts, because she was able to, well, I'll put it this way. When we moved to Mission Viejo from Diamond Bar, California, she actually was like the person in the neighborhood that would do the pie parties, and she'd have everybody come over and bring pie. Or she would, she was very social, and she's very good that way. We got a lot of our, kind of go in charging in from her. She was incredibly social and classy, and she remarried. Her husband's name is Bill now, and um, uh, she for years we were very, very close. And so it was it's been I don't know if you've gone through this. I'm sure you guys have. And at my age, everyone's kind of they're posting about their parents a lot, because this is kind of the age on that you tend to lose parents. So not easy, but I will say that it was bittersweet last night, and it was a really good moment, and a come together peaceful moment. And at the end of the day, that's all that matters. It doesn't even matter really what goes on, what happens, and all the things, right? That they don't really matter as much as we were able to feel the spirit in the room last night, and to play a lot of songs that she loved. So there was kind of a just beautiful piece of that I will forever remember last night, because we were able to all come together, and it was very peaceful and loving and good. And I think, a lot of intense emotions so that's why this is going to be real short today. I apologize. I'll be out for a few days, and I didn't want to leave you guys hanging, and I didn't want you guys wondering, because we're in such a weird space right now with media, and I didn't want you guys to have to wonder what was going on. So that's why today. But I told Melissa and Susan, I'm so sorry, because they had prepared today, and I feel really bad. And we'll do that next week. And I just want you guys to know, at the end of the day, it's kind of like the foxhole thing. At the end of the day, no matter what, you recognize all of the wonderful things that people do right and do good, and are what makes them special. And we all have that. And to tell you the truth, it's I think in every household right now, with politics and with, oh my gosh, so many things that can tear people apart. And that really wasn't the case here, but it was just, politics I know is tearing people apart. And I've gotten, a lot of different responses from friends and family about politics, but there's so many things. And the one thing that we all have, are our families, our loved ones, the people we care about. And so it's kind of like the foxhole, at the end of the day, and every foxhole is a Christian, because they're going to acknowledge God, right? So in this case, when we're looking at losing loved ones, and I know all of you listening have lost somebody that you cherish, that you love, and it's never easy, and it's never simple, and it can be complicated at times. And I just want to tell you that, I can do a lot of shows about a lot of topics. But at the end of the day, at the end of the day, when the curtain draws, right, you realize that there are certain things that are important, and there are certain priorities that we need to have. And the priorities in my life are: cherish your friends and family. Those close relationships are all you take with you. And love and cherish God. No matter what politics you have, no matter what I could talk about or what I could scare you with as far as my research and what's coming, no matter what's coming, this is why I always say there's always hope. There's always the good. There's always the wonderful, because that is true. We live in a weird world right now. A lot of things tearing us apart and a lot of things that are really, really difficult. But at the end of the day, you forgive, you love, you create peace, you listen to the Spirit, and you live your life according to those priorities, then no matter what happens politically or what happens in the strange world that we live in, no matter what, then it'll be okay. And, you know, a lot of mistakes are made. And I know I'm the queen of them. A lot of things. And humility is something we all learn and grow from. Relationships we learn and grow from. And I truly do believe that the challenges you have in your life, the things that you go through, you're probably supposed to go through them for a reason, because there's growth there, and that your Heavenly Father wants you to learn something, right? So you take all that in and you go, okay, priority, love. And I think it's truly love at the end of the day, and peace, and understanding where you came from and developing a relationship with God and our Savior. And that is the most important thing. No matter what career you have, no matter how much money you have, no matter what, at the end of the day, that's it. Last night we played a song called I Know Where I'm Going. We had played that at my mission farewell. We all had guitars and we played that song. So we played that for her last night. And it's not the Irish ballad. It's not that one. It's a different one. It's actually a very little known song. It's a Christian song. And it just talks about, I know where I'm going and I know who walks beside me. And I have, silver and gold, but it's really the light that guides you that actually makes makes your life, and knowing who walks beside you in that final moment too. And it's a beautiful song. And we played that last night, and how great thou art, and I'm a child of God. And it was, and she smiled at one point and said, keep going. So I know she was enjoying that, hearing guitar, because our whole life was growing up was kind of built around that instrument. So I just think that no matter what, the priorities that we place in our life, no matter what we learn politically, no matter what we understand about this world and about what's happening to us, at the end of the day, that's the most important thing. And that's the only thing. Your family, love, peace, what you create in those bonds and relationships, and what you humbly accept in your life, and what you are in your relationship with God. That's it. That's what we have. So I want to thank you for tuning in today. And sorry, this is such a short show. There's a million things we could talk about in the headlines. There's a million things, but it's been kind of a weird, mixed with emotion kind of time. So just dealing with that. And I just want you to know my mom's name is Sheila, and she loved family. She really was a really good mom to us, and it's whom we needed. Really who we needed in our life, because she taught me a lot, and a lot of that has translated into now. So I'll forever be appreciative of that, for sure. So I play this song because it reminds me of her, and I'll play it.
Standing by my window on a cold, cloudy day, when I saw that hearse come rolling for to carry my mother away. Will the circle be unbroken by and by, Lord, by and by? Then There's a better home away in the sky, Lord, in the sky. Came back home, lonely for my mother. She was gone, and all my family there was crying. For I felt sad and alone. Will the circle be unbroken by and by, Lord, by and by? There's a better home waiting in the sky, Lord, in the sky. Undertaker, Undertaker, won't you please drive slow for that lady you are holding? Lord, I hate to see her go. Will the circle be broken by and by, Lord, by and by? There's a better home waiting in the sky, Lord, in the sky. Will the circle be unbroken by and by, Lord, by and by? There's a better home waiting in the sky, Lord, in the sky. In the sky, Lord, in the sky. On a cold, cloudy day, when I saw that hearse come rolling for to carry my mother away. Will the circle be unbroken by and by, Lord, by and by? There's a better home away in the sky, Lord, in the sky.
The one thing that my mom is very much about is fun and family. Family is really important to her.
All my family
Gatherings.
there was
And of course, having fun. Camping. And making sure that we always had a good time.
Will the circle be unbroken by and by, Lord, by and by? There's a better home waiting in the sky, Lord, in the sky.